Yes.
Great. Hey everyone, this is Courtney Smith, and I am running this call today. I'm talking with Nikki and Rachel, I've known Nikki for a while, and she introduced me to Rachel, and we're all in this healthy mom. Like, what supplements do we need to take? What's good for us? What's bad for us? How do we make our kids healthy? All those things. And that's right in line with the type of health insurance that I deal with. So, real quick, the two biggest miscon or the biggest misconception in health insurance right now is people don't get educated on there's two different types of plans. So the first plan is called a major medical plan, which covers medical events. So I'm going to list out the 10 things that are covered in a major medical plan. And if you do not need coverage for any one of these, maybe multiple of these, then you're paying too much for your health insurance. So number one is outpatient. Everybody's going to need outpatient. That's really you go into the doctor and you're out the door in the same day. So anything that would be in and out, that's an outpatient surgery or outpatient care. Emergency room, we can't avoid that. Patient, maternity, mental health, not I need an antidepressant. It's more like I have PTSD, I have schizophrenia, I have something severe that I need help with, or I have a abuse problem that I need help with. Prescription coverage, rehab, physical therapy, either for substance abuse or physical rehab. Labs. Now, there's only specific labs. Not every lab gets covered. So hormone panels typically do not get covered by health insurance. Preventative care and pediatric care. So if you say, no, I don't need any one of those 10 things, then you're overpaying. And what most people want when they hear major medical is they really want major bill protection coverage. So we can put protection around accidents, really, really expensive sicknesses like cancer, heart attack, stroke. We can put protection on that and reduce maybe, I think the three of us, we might be done having babies. I know I am. So take out that maternity piece. Mental health is pretty good. Thank you, Jesus, for that. So we can take out some of those things and you go into a major bill protection. There's so many more options when you're healthy. We can do things like $100,000 life insurance policy that would pay out if cancer, heart attack, and stroke happen. So you're protected twice with one bill. And then just accident plans. Accident plans are super cheap. Hospital indemnity plans are very affordable. Almost all of those are no deductible, no copay. So it's really just show up to the doctor, get whatever you need done, and you don't have to pay anything other than your monthly premium, which is my goal. So that is a health insurance piece. If anybody has questions on that, you know how to reach me. So let's get to the fun part, ladies. That was quick. That was good. That was quick.
You did a good job. I'm
Thanks.
gonna have more questions on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I got all kinds of information on that. But
I
so
love it.
peptides, just a little bit of my background. I feel like I've done everything. I've done supplements like vitamins and supplements to get my workout in. And then I did a bodybuilding show. So I was on gear. Not a ton, not a lot, but I did have some gear. And that was a great experience for me working out. I wish I had that in college. I can see why people do it. But, I did it for my bodybuilding. But now I don't want to go as hard as a bodybuilder. I can't lift that heavy anymore. And there's really no point at this age as a mom. There's no point to go that hard to be a bodybuilder, but I still like to work out hard like an athlete. I still want to have muscle tone. I know peptides is a solution. There's ejectable peptides, which I've spent a lot of time learning about. And then consumable peptides, which is way more up my alley because I really don't like giving myself shots. And I don't like asking Brian to give me shots. So let's be real, I'm not doing it. All right. So that's where I'm so interested in this. I know a lot more of my friends are interested in this, but I'm just gonna let you ladies take over with Make Wellness and their peptides and how you guys are using them.
Absolutely.
Rach, do you wanna go first?
Yeah, for sure. So I think a lot of people um, do have misconceptions around what a peptide is. Will view it as a supplement or might not really understand how to separate the two. But a peptide itself is a short chain amino acid, which is really sort of it's the building blocks for the protein in your body that serve a very specific function. So if you're in this place of wanting to gain muscle, lose fat, maybe you're working on ocular health, cognitive health, like there is a peptide that supports that very precise function, which is why this is sort of where the future of wellness is growing. So that those that are coming into the space saying, hey, you know what? I want to lose belly fat. There is a very, very precise way to do that where you're not just casting a wide net, but you're really focusing in on that specific problem you're trying to solve or if we're starting to talk about gaining lean tone muscle. So with Make Wellness, what we've done over, gosh, at this point, 9 years is we have studied the interactions between all natural bioactive peptides plant-based, from nature, and how these all-natural peptides are consumed rather than injected, and really advancing the results that our clients are getting on the cellular level. The testimonials coming out of the space have been like jaw on the floor, jaw-dropping. I read all the analytics and studies, the human trials that were put on for 8 years prior to partnering in this space. And then for myself, noticing by week 2, the vast difference that I was even able to do, like, with my workouts, the weights I was able to lift, the velocity at which I was able to recover because some of our products are just that significant. And like court, I was like, gosh, I wish I had this when I was playing college soccer. Like that would have been so cool. But that's just like a little top line overview about peptides and all natural peptides in comparison to what you're seeing with maybe like a lab made synthetic injectable, which kind of come with those like those side effects that a lot of us don't like. Yeah.
Yeah. I think to build off of that, I mean, she went, like, scientific route, which I could appreciate. I think, like, a lot of like, we kinda wonder who this is for, right? Like, you don't have to be working out for this to be beneficial to you. This can be the stepping stone that, like, helps you want to start working out
Sure.
or helps you avoid hospital bills and things like that. Like, my dad, for example, is 70. He's an old farm boy. I shouldn't say old, he acts like he's 12. But he has been so swollen for the last decade that he hasn't really been able to put on his work boots every day without pain. He started taking fit, and within 2 months, he's starting to put on his boots again, and he doesn't have any pain. He can see the vascularity in his arms again that he hasn't seen in a long time. And my dad is an active man, right? He's a farmer, but he's not hitting the gym or anything like that. He's taking fit and keeping up with like other regular lifestyle things that I have coached him to do over the years
Yeah.
to just be healthier, right? So, like, this isn't just for your gym bros. This isn't just for your CrossFit chicks, right? This can be for anybody. And then they're more beneficial than just for muscle tone too. Like, I know that, Rachel briefly brought up ocular health. Like, people are on computers all day. Focus helps a lot with improving eye health.
For sure.
You have other people like they have kiddos that have, is it neurodegenerative diseases that are using
Hmm.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And, like, they're coming home and they're in as much pain, that kinda thing. Youth athletes, right, like, are being able to use this and recover a little bit faster, and they are pretty close to being NSF certified too, so that would be perfect for your
Literally any day.
NCAA people. Yeah. So, like, it's incredible who this is all for. So there's
For
literally
sure.
a peptide or peptides that could help pretty much anyone with any type of goal. And I know that that sounds like too wide of a range, but sincerely, when your body naturally makes something and your body just isn't naturally making that thing anymore, then this helps you feel better no matter where you're at.
That's incredible.
So,
And I know getting products certified for youth athletes, that was the space I was in forever. So, I
Yeah.
partnered with products, which, Nikki, like First Form was part of them. Those I would make sure I actually partnered with a company that I couldn't recommend their protein to athletes because they did have an ingredient in there that was on the banned supplement list for NCAA. So I do check. I do check. And so I'm glad
Yeah.
they got to check all the boxes for me to be involved.
mhm.
So it definitely does.
Yeah.
So let me ask this because I feel like we talked about this briefly, but I want to officially go back over it. Um, I have a friend that is a recovering from cancer. She's in remission from cancer, had it years ago.
Sure.
You go through that one time and just that fear of it coming back, supplements, anything she puts in her or her family's body. I mean, she's got 3 kids and a
Yeah.
husband. She's very careful what she does. So, any feedback from people who are cancer survivors or current cancer patients using this product?
I have one, for example, I'll let Rachel fill in on some other testimonies, but one of my girls that I actually like, no, she lives like 15 miles from here. She is on her second round of cancer right now, unfortunately, and she's in the middle of like the worst part of chemotherapy again. She specifically enjoys using Most, Fit, Hydrated, and Restored. Those are her 3 go-to, and the Fit really helps with the inflammation piece. Her body is fighting everything, so it's constantly swollen. So that's really helped pull down inflammation. Hydrate really helps her body absorb whatever nutrients she can take in.
Mm.
And then the Restored, sleep wise, she has honestly seen her HRV improve or at least stay the same on the really bad weeks. She went from like 5 minutes of deep sleep to 2 hours. So if we can help people in the depths of the worst of their hardest chemo, then in better sleep and inflammation and stuff, then your body is going to be able to fight that much better.
Yeah.
So that's my very personal testimony from a very personal client that is going through her second round of chemo right now. But I'm sure Rachel has some extra pieces to add in.
I think it's just so inspiring to see the way that we're able to touch lives in an all natural way when there are so many pharmaceuticals that people interact with or are told to interact with on the daily. Something I will add to what Nikki is saying is if someone is navigating something in their life and they're working closely with a team of doctors, like I will always recommend that they share the ingredient list with their oncologist or their team of doctors that they're working close with because that is the team that knows them the best and what they're navigating. But at the same time, the amount of research that goes into every single one of these products, Nikki touched on it some, but restored in and of itself is something that is going to change hundreds of thousands of lives. So, restored is our brand new sleep peptide that is not a hormone. It is not a sedative and it is creating such a restorative sleep. So when people go to bed, even if it's like for short amount of times, like there are days where I am working so much and I get very little sleep, but my deep sleep, my REM sleep, and my efficiency is like off the charts high. When we can get a restorative sleep, our brain and our body are healing. So if we're in this place where our body is fighting something, let it be your common cold, or maybe it's as significant as cancer, this is where our body has to heal. Like we have to give our body the time to stop. I was going to say stop, drop, and roll. We don't actually have to
Drop.
stop, drop, and roll, but it just made sense in that moment. We have to give ourselves the beat to we have to give ourselves that beat to actually get better. Now, fit is going to be the most substantial peptide that we have in our entire collection because it's head to toe. On the mitochondrial level, your body is getting back to factory resets. So, fit is 4 times as productive compared to a whey protein with protein synthesis in your muscles. So if you are trying to heal from anything, when your body is firing on all cylinders, let's call it that, you're able to then fight anything else, any other free radicals or whatever is going on in your body. So one of the things you guys, I am not a doctor. I am not an oncologist, which is why I always push it there. But we have to get our body to a place where we're able to accept the support that we're getting in other places, whether if it's, cancer treatment. But fit and restored for someone who's going through it. I mean, hydrated is killer. I mean, I could go through the whole gamut of all them. I mean, they're life changing. They are absolutely hands down life changing.
Yeah, and there's a couple of terms like HRV, it's the heart rate variability score. So, what do you perform at your highest and what do you perform at your lowest? How efficiently can you go from that? And then the higher the score,
Yeah.
the better your health. Because if your heart is in tune with what you need, you're able to handle stress and stress from exercise and stress from just day to day stuff. So that HRV is regulates the stress. If you're not able to go like actually test cortisol, HRV can help you kind of see where your levels are and maybe not know exactly where cortisol is, but you have a good idea of if you're doing too much or not enough. And cortisol is that stress hormone. So I'm not a doctor or oncologist, but I do have biochemical engineering degree. So, and I spent many years drawing out each one of those peptides. You have no idea. All the 20 peptides, we had to draw them all for test and then connect them together and then disconnect them and all of the chemistry stuff. I and again, I do a deep I do my own research because I can speak languages and I can get through reading the words more than most people. And I would say when I read supplements and I read peptide labels versus when I read pharmaceutical drugs, so each sound that those words have a certain structure or a drawing or a meaning. There's a chemistry meaning behind each one of them.
Yep.
And so the length of the words or the sounds don't really scare me, but the ones that I recognize the most are organic. So they're in the human body, they're in living things. And when I can recognize that this is a living thing, this is a living thing, this is organic material that I'm putting into my body versus this is a completely different chemistry. This is inorganic chemistry. This is plastics. This is stuff that doesn't really
Yep.
naturally occur in your body. They have to force things to connect together. So when I'm reading that, that's the part that scares me a lot more than the big long lines of supplements and all those different words and the oxyls and the blah, 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 all the things. That's part of knowing the language where when I can go and talk and read and research, I can really have good discernment on like, okay, this is good stuff and we really want to avoid this as much as possible. So that's just kind of
Oof.
how I vet supplements.
Could have used you in BBMB 221 and 222 a few years ago.
Oh yeah. Uh, yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
did a lot of chemistry, tutoring, so, yeah. I
Okay.
still have
You had
nightmares. Yeah.
Did you have a couple other questions as well from other people that you have gathered?
Just what about we had a friend that I think you touched on it in the story with your dad, Nikki. Their dad's in a retirement home, and some of the nurses and they're mentioning peptides, but because it's not something a doctor can really get, it's just like this like how do we get them? How do we work with them? So out the fit helps with inflammation, and inflammation is usually the problem when it comes to any of our health situations. Cortisol or inflammation usually. So is that is that the product that really tackles the inflammation, or would you pair it up with other things?
Uh,
I mean, I'm
I
sure
can do
Rachel
this.
can weigh on it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
So I think it's the fit and lean combo depending the person. And one of the things I'll share is also a very personal testimony from my mom, who is older. She's in her 60s, but like she was living on cortisone injections in her knees for years because she had such bad inflammation in her knees and joint pain. And since starting to use the fit and lean combo, not only has she lost 37 pounds, but she also hasn't had a cortisone injection in 9 months. So it's like one of those, she's starting to see such an impact with pain management, but also inflammation in her body. And she's no longer pre diabetic anymore. So when we start to look at why is someone needing to work on inflammation, lean is going to help with visceral fat around your gut. So when we carry excess fat around our gut, our cortisol is going to be higher. So will fit help with cortisol? It will absolutely help with cortisol, but so will lean. So when depending on the person and what their goals are that they're trying to achieve or their starting place, that combo, fit and lean, is significant.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd even go some people go fit and restored combination too.
Mhm.
There was a I need to look it up, but there is a statistic that they had in our information boards about restored that said people that sleep, I think it was less than 5 hours a night, are X percentage more likely to get all contract Alzheimer's or get Alzheimer's. So, like, people that have that run in their or in their family lines or whatever could potentially push that off or have a better opportunity to not struggle with that disease, I
Yeah.
think is what that was referring to.
Mhm.
So,
Well, then that paired with
yeah, really
focus
like the combination
because
between yeah,
so for the older population,
go ahead.
restored is huge, focused is huge for ocular and cognitive health. But then, so fit, restored, and focused, but then calm also has been significant for helping with stressors. And with increased stress, we increase our cortisol, which, can also like really jazz up our hormones a little bit. So it just depends the person, what their goals are, and where their starting point is. And one of the really cool things about Make Wellness is we have so many people that are able to support these clients that everyone is really getting that personal that personal touch, which is incredible.
Yes. My mom, for example, right? Both my parents are using products. Mom is really big on fit, focused, and energized now because she has had a Pepsi addiction since I was born. And we have her down to like a Pepsi a week instead of like 4 Pepsis a
Nice.
day. And she switched to energized recently and she has one of those a day and it's made a huge difference for her. So yeah.
And these are just mixed in water, so it's the same motion as drinking Pepsi, just switching up what you drink. Perfect.
That's
Exactly.
right.
It's
Super
water,
easy.
and there's some in pill form, correct? There's some water in there powders in pill form,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And calm
so
you
no
even sprinkle on your
injectable.
tongue like so.
You can do what,
Yes.
Nikki? Sorry.
Calm you can sprinkle on your tongue like a pixie stick. You can mix it in water if you want to, but if you can just sprinkle it on the back of your tongue and let it dissolve.
Like dry scooping. You're calm.
Yes.
But it's so good and it
Yeah,
dissolves
that was
so
a
fast.
different
Yes, it does. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, my products are in the mail somewhere, so hopefully in the next 48 hours I'll get them. So,
Yay.
yeah,
Yay.
I got my launch box and everything coming. All
I'm
Perfect.
right,
so
let's
excited
see.
for
So
you.
they're easy to consume, no injectables, real results, pain, Alzheimer's, it may be pain that comes from chemo, radiation, that type of therapy, that keeps the body recovering. HRV, how your body handles stress. I mean, it really checks all the boxes of what people really want from a health system. I don't feel like this is a diet. I feel it's more like a health system. So just one more. I think we spoke a little bit on the ease of taking this stuff, but when you take the products, is it like take this at this time, take it with this? Is it pretty easy to follow? Or can you mix it up and as long as you consume it, it gets the job done? How does that part work?
So Some of them, I would definitely suggest taking at certain times. Fit, I would always recommend taking sometime in the morning hours for long-term health reasons. I always say to have it with or right after a meal, just for there is 100 milligrams of caffeine in there, just to like longevity wise, especially women. Having caffeine on an empty stomach isn't always the best choice. So that one, be morning hours. Lean would be like morning to early afternoon, because that one helps with managing like cravings and food noise and such as well. So that's going to help you most through that longevity of the day. Oh, we lost Rachel, which is fine. So with that, that covers those two. Energized would be another 100 milligrams of caffeine. So I would suggest that one no later than 2 p.m. just so it doesn't interfere with any nighttime sleeping. Calm, you can literally take it any time of the day. That one helps calm neurotransmitter activity. So if you're like really overwhelmed, you feel like you have like a million tabs open in your brain, that's gonna be one that you can take it literally
Yes.
anytime. I take it at 9 AM when my kids are driving me nuts. It does not make you drowsy. There's no magnesium or anything like that in there. So you can literally take it at any time. You can take it multiple times a day if you need to. Let's see, Restored, you'll take that one about an hour before bed. That's the sleep peptide. And then Hydrated, you can take it any point in the day that you want.
Beautiful. So very simple,
Yes.
very it makes a lot of sense. Your caffeine early, your sleepy stuff at
Yep.
the end of the day, hydrate anytime, and the calm, that's a good thing on the calm because you know, I've heard so many mixed reviews from and we talk a lot to bro science. So there's a lot of bodybuilders and professional, like big athletes, like men athletes. So,
Mhm.
their insight on when you should take supplements. But the calm, the ingredients in calm, I felt like you could take anytime. So thanks for confirming that. All
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Yeah. Is there that was the main questions we had, and that was a ton of information. I'm sure I need to re-listen to this so I can pick up everything you guys have taught me right here. Is there any
Yeah.
last and this is an opportunity. This is not just, hey, let's take supplements. This is an opportunity if you like talking to people about fitness, or if this is, you got a friend circle that's all trying to figure things out together. There is a business opportunity in this too. So, Nikki, I know the best thing would probably be have a private conversation with one of the three of us about the business opportunity. But if you want to lay that out for us real quick and then we can wrap it up.
Yeah, no, that's like the coolest part about this. And I have a lot of customers that turn into the business opportunity and not necessarily to replace their full time job, but this is a huge portion of my full time job now. I run my own thing at home, right? I'm a fitness nutrition coach, but it's not what I always was. So you can certainly turn this into a business opportunity. You can do your own thing and just focus on sales, or you can try and do like a team building thing, make a great income either way. The really cool part about it is there is like a no strings attached thing about it too. So say that you get the peptides from Courtney and Brian and you are in love with them and you know of a few people that you know would also love them. You upgrade to affiliate for free. It takes literally 5 seconds. You get a link and you can literally share these things with people in a very honest and genuine way. That's what we always want anyway. We're not about a sale, we're about a solution. So if you know people that need the solution, then it makes sense for you to essentially get your peptides for free. That's what it ends up being. And that's what my initial goal was getting into this. And like, I just got back from Cancun because I had so many people that I helped with solutions, right? So like, it's
Yeah.
really amazing. The company is very genuine. It's very honest. I'll say like, it's one of the few opportunities that I've seen where not only the products are next level, but the actual company is next level as well. So if that is an interest to you, like Courtney said, you can jump on the phone with her or we can jump on a phone like as a group and we can all answer questions together and kind of go from there.
And that's perfect. And yeah, we were in that we were with another company selling products the same time. That's how we originally met. And then when you found something different, the other companies are not, I love that company. I love everything about what they do and how they've structured. I mean, I've learned so much as a business owner. So when you said you had another interest, I'm already intrigued because I feel like you already picked a quality company, quality products to begin with. And then so when you had this new opportunity, it was a easy yes. Like let's see what Nikki's doing here. So well, I
Yeah.
appreciate your time. Is that get a call? Appreciate your time very much and can't wait to continue to share this opportunity. Oh, good. Nikki really ran with it there. We wrapped up with talking a little bit about the business opportunity. And I know you both were in Cancun together. So if you want to talk a little bit about how the business side has impacted you and your family in that trip, and then, yeah, then we can sign off here.
Oh my gosh. I would say blessed beyond measure, but at the same time, the reason why these businesses are blowing up in this space is because the products work. Our clients, I mean, our 70 or more percent of our clients every single month continue to use these peptides because they're feeling better. And because their products work and because they're so blue ocean first in this space, those that are supporting people with these products are seeing significant business growth. And I will tell you that the impact, depending on the person and how much they're willing to work at it, how if they're willing to get outside their comfort zone and really support other people, it has the potential to create generational impact for not just your family, but generations to come. And you I was an analyst in a prior life before this, and I will say that numbers don't lie. And the fact that Make Wellness as a brand new company after almost a decade of research was able to do over $100 million in sales in 11 months is a true testament to what these products are doing and how many people are raising their hand and lining up to use them. And it is something that is growing faster than Tesla, Apple, Nike, Lululemon. By year 5, we're gonna be $1 billion company. It's just unheard of, and it's because of the products. So, I will say that every single person that is in line to try these, that it is a no-brainer for them to share them as an opportunity because it has such an impact for could have such an impact for their life. I'll shout it from the rooftops. I do, actually, but yeah.
She's not joking. She's very over the top.
I
But
think
it really
anything
changed
that
my
can
family's life.
Oh, I know it did. It changed mine too. I just love you so much for it.
well, I'm excited to share my testimony about how it's changed my family's life as well. So I appreciate the
Yes, ma'am.
opportunity and then more opportunities of sharing more information about this product so we can just keep magnifying this message and what a great product it is. And anytime we can help waistlines and bank accounts, there's always people intrigued. Ladies,
That's
I
right.
appreciate your time as always. And I'm going to let you guys go for now, but I'm sure we'll be in touch in the next 24 hours. Y'all been my new best friends
That's
for the
right.
last few weeks.
Sounds
Yeah, absolutely.
Ladies,
All
Well,
right.
thank
y'all have a
you.
great rest of your day. All
You
right, see
too.
y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.